Welcome back everyone to Let's Play Shadowrun Dragonfall. So I was just thinking, the only reason I saved this guy was because I figured Double Decker felt guilty about those innocent civilians dying. And then I thought about how did everyone not just hear about that fight that was going on? You know, just they're in the next room over and they don't hear it. These rooms are probably sound insulated. That might sound like a security risk, but in a satanic cult house, it's probably for the best. Hey, Phil, fucking stop trying to sacrifice humans in the other room. I'm trying to sleep. Anyway, you step toward the park ranger. His eyes are wide, and they move from you to Glory to the scene of carnage in the room. It takes you a moment to realize that Glory isn't following you. You turn to find her standing in place, staring at the bodies of the slaughtered acolytes. Her expression is unreadable. It had to be done, Glory. They would have killed him. Back when I lived here, I would have too. All that we've done is trade 2 innocent lives for 1. Maybe, but they were the ones holding the knives. Yeah. The ranger staggers forward, then collapses to his knees. He's bleeding in a dozen places from long, shallow wounds. The blood pours from his body in sheets, pooling in a slick on the hardwood floor. I don't know who you are, but thank you. Those monsters are gonna bleed me out. They took turns cutting me, carved up my arm like a holiday roast. Glory, can you patch him up? I can fix this. He'll need a trip to the hospital, but I can get him on his feet. Glory goes to work, binding the park ranger's wounds within a few minutes. She staunched the worst of the bleeding. Thank you. I think I can make it out of here on my own. My truck isn't far. When you get to the hospital, people are going to have questions. What are you going to tell them? What do you want me to say? Ho. Tell them whatever you want. By this time tomorrow, this place won't exist anymore. If that's what you want. I owe you my life, Fraulein. I owe you both. When they took me, they confiscated my gear. I saw them stash it behind a vent in the garage before they dragged me in here. I don't need it. It'd only slow me down. I'll take it. Thanks. Ooh, in the garage. It's unbelievable how little things have changed. I remember stealing this for Harrow. The owner, well, he didn't need it anymore. I remember how proud Harrow was, how loved I felt. You were just a kid. Harrow's a monster. You couldn't have stopped yourself. It'd be nice to believe that. It really, really would. Let's just keep moving. Also, satanic pinball machine. I wonder if it's Addams Family pinball. You know, the best pinball machine ever made. Also, where the hell do I find the garage? I can't seem to leave. Oh, well. One of these rooms has to be the garage. And that's where I'll find some gear. Hidden in a vent, apparently. What do we have here? Ooh, whole lot of nothing. Well, it looks like Harrow's office. But, like, no one who's going to try to kill me. An ostentatiously large tome sits cradled on this pedestal. The paper is robust and fibrous, and the binding has been expertly stitched. A steel plate running along the book's spine anchors it to the pedestal. Glory stares at it, frowning. Harrow's manifesto, the handcrafted line of bullshit that he feeds to his initiates. We all ate it up with a smile, and came away convinced that he was a genius. Looks like he's expanded it over the last few years. It's at least twice as thick as it was when I lived here. Maybe there's something we can use. I wouldn't want to hang around long enough to find out. This is Harrow's personal library. He used to experiment in here. There were dangerous things in here, double. Sick things. I was never allowed in this room without Harrow. Nobody was. He said that it was for our safety, and I think he was actually telling the truth. I feel uneasy being in here, and I don't want to stay any longer than we have to. I've been on edge since we came in, but that doesn't change the fact that we could learn something. Leaf through the beginning. When I first set out on the path to free living, I realized that I'd have to rethink all of my earlier assumptions about life. I'd have to question my own values and beliefs, and I'd need the strength to trust in the answers that came to me. The prospect was daunting, but it was also necessary. The road to true freedom is paved with unanswered questions. After all, you can't learn to be free from a book. The answers won't come from a Bible, an instruction manual, or a code of conduct. If you don't learn that, you'll never break your own chains. The path to true freedom is one that each of us must walk on his or her own. What makes life worth living? What in life is truly valuable? In what is the dross that can be burned away? I spent weeks dissecting every aspect of my life to find the answers to these questions. Slowly, agonizingly, I pared down the list until only 4 items remained. These 4 items became the cornerstone of my new philosophy, and the basis for everything that Fierstale stands for. Love, the first cornerstone, and the most important. Without love, life is bland and meaningless. Without love, we might as well be machines. Love what you do. Love the people around you. But above all, love yourself. Self-determination, the second cornerstone. Each of us must be his or her own shepherd. No more gods and no more kings. Your life is your own. Lash out against anyone or anything that tries to treat you like property. An assault on your freedom is an assault on your whole being, and it must be met with equally ferocious response. Charity. The third cornerstone, a miserly life, is an empty life. If each of us is his or her own master, then nobody should live as a serf. By helping others along the path to enlightenment, so do we enrich our own lives. Passion, the final cornerstone. Complacency is poison. Be wary of it. Ambition is the key to a fulfilling life. Don't settle for what is. If you do, you abandon what could be. It feels like we're being watched. Whatever. It's fine. What's the worst that could happen? Be free. Be free in all things. And experience that freedom with your whole being, body, mind, and spirit. Discard the oppressive traditions of modesty and shame that you've been indoctrinated with since birth. The free thinker has no use for them. Your body is a source of pride, of pleasure, and of succor for yourself and for others. Enjoy it and share that joy freely with those who desire it. Be selfish. Don't enslave yourself to others at the expense of your own happiness. Take what you want and do so unashamedly. Our desires are an important part of what makes us human. Society has trained us to hide that part of ourselves from the world, but the free living person doesn't cower in the shadows. Own your desires and rejoice in them. Selflessness is ultimately dishonest, and dishonesty has no place in a free society. Show reverence. The free living person understands that the only true governance in this world is the law of nature, and that in nature there is a hierarchy. The rabbit doesn't question the wolf. The mouse does not wonder why it must run from the cat. They do because they must. Their survival depends on it. As it is in nature, so it is at Fierstale. Know your place in the food chain and understand the mechanisms by which you can better yourself. 20 more pages worth of rules. Each is worded vaguely enough to have multiple interpretations. Clear, simple rules with a focus on instant gratification. I can see that why this would be appealing to a street kid. I'm getting the feeling that this entire thing is written in doublespeak. Yeah, I was about to say, he seems to contradict himself all the time. And not in an Emersonian contradiction, but like in a just series of completely confusing crap. That's what Harrow wrote them for, and he mined an entire library worth of 60s counterculture essays, New Age self-help books, and cult manifestos to do it. There isn't a single original idea in that thing. I was about to say. That only matters to the people who knows that it's stolen. Double, that ominous feeling is getting closer. There's something in the room with us. I'm sure of it. We need to get out of here now. Fine, fine. But I am checking out this computer. Hacked. It looks as though this terminal was used exclusively for financial transactions. After a bit of digging, you find a list of payoffs to local law enforcement, paid by Harrow, no doubt, to ensure that the police look the other way. Oh. Ooh, Harrow's bribes. Pay data. Somebody's going to want that. Oh, fantastic. It's in the fridge. Any people? As you open the refrigerator door, a whiff of ammonia sticks in your nostrils. Watery light glints off the door's polished interior. The fridge is stacked full of large plastic bins, all tightly sealed and neatly labeled. It's hard to tell through the opaque plastic, but they appear to be full of meat. The first thing that hits you is the smell. The meat here is beyond rancid. White mold frosts the sides of the bin, and all that you can do to keep from it's all that you can do to keep from gagging. As you rush to put the lid back on, you recognize a familiar shape in the rotten meat, a mangled human hand. I don't feel so good. Ritual supplies. The adversary prefers them aged. Harrow teaches all of the initiates how to do it, how to harvest the meat, how to store it, how to label it. Nobody likes doing it at first, but you learn. By the end, it doesn't even bother you anymore. This is beyond fucked. We need to shut this place down. Man, I sold a child to organ leggers, and this is too fucked up for me. Just kidding. Still, like, even to someone who had sold children to organ leggers, this would probably be too fucked up. Ooh, medical supplies. I imagine, goodbye kamikaze. I imagine this is the preparation room for, what's the term? Right, Harrow's, mistress. Probably gonna be Marta, just saying. Can I look at the van, please? Can I open up the van? She traces the side of it with a claw. I remember cruising the back alleys of Tübingen looking for kids in need of help. The bait girls, Marta and the others like her, would offer them money, food, drugs, sex, whatever it took to get them into the van. And once they piled in, Harrow and I would be waiting to greet them. I remember so many nights like that, and I remember how much I used to enjoy it. You're not the same person you were back then. What's in the vent? What's in the vent? Ooh, a Pomona kit. A rank 3 med kit. 2 rank 3 med kits. Ooh. That shit's primo. I get the distinct impression this is probably going to be a large common room. Just because I haven't found one yet. This is the Initiate's dormitory. The new arrivals are brought here. There's still hope for these kids. Harrow hasn't had a chance to ruin them yet. Good to know. We'll try to get them out of... Wait, listen. Movement. Calm down, dear. It's probably nothing. No need to worry yourself. We're so far off the beaten track, we don't get a lot of visitors. Oh. But what if it is someone? What if the bad people have found us? What if they followed me here and they've come to... Well, then we'll send them away. You're perfectly safe here. You have to believe that. Don't worry, dear heart. Harrow won't let anyone hurt you. Not here, in this place, not ever again. Are you certain, Marta? Positive. Be calm, all of you. As long as you're here with us, nothing bad will ever happen to you. Is that your Marta? Not mine. Harrow's, but she's the Marta from the story, yes. What do you want to do about it? If she's still here, she'll be Harrow's #1, my old position. He had his way with all of us, but he was always sweet on Marta. That means that she'll have the key to the shrine room. In that case, we're gonna have to find a way to get away from her. Yes, but not here, not now. Those kids in there, they'll all die for her. They already love her, that's what she does. We can't risk confronting her in that room. If the situation turns ugly, any one of those kids will happily eat a bullet for her, and that's not what I came here to do. I mean, if what you've said is true, then she deserves to die as much as Harrow does. Part of me wants to kill her. She's the reason why a lot of us kids wound up here. We'll deal with that later, though. I won't hurt any more kids voluntarily. Hush now, boys, and get some rest. You've got a big day tomorrow. The biggest day of your lives. You get to meet Harrow. I promise you, after you speak with him, you'll see the whole world in a different way. A better way. All right, Marta. Have a good night. You too, dear. All of you. Coast is clear. We can handle the initiates. They're just a bunch of scared kids. Without Marta there to egg them on, they won't try anything. Just a second. Let's check on the other door in this chamber. I guess this is not Marta's room. It's just a bathroom. Oh, wow. And literally just a bathroom. I assume this is going to be where the senior initiates are. Probably. And hopefully... Yep. You hear voices speaking in low tones through the wood of the door. You can't make out the words, but regular choruses of rough laughter tell you that the people on the other side are enjoying themselves. More of Harrow's acolytes. If we walk through that door, they'll attack us just like last time. I've spent time here. A lot of time. That room is for acolytes only. On the rare occasion that an initiate is invited in, he usually doesn't come out again. A dorm or a lounge or something? Yes, you could call it that. A special place for Harrow's inner circle. The acolytes, the bait girls, the Harrow's wives. Marta and I used to spend a lot of time in there. Alright, let's keep moving. Let's go over here. You could probably usher the kids into the van. If they don't listen to me, I could just scare the hell out of them. I'm good at that. Alright, it's time. What's up, nerds? Oh, game saved. Can I talk to these guys? Okay, I just need to get in closer. The initiate closest to the door whips his head up to look at you. He takes a step backward in alarm, then opens his mouth to cry for help. You don't want to do that. We're not here to hurt you.
Etiquette Street? If we wanted to kill you, you'd already be dead. You've lived on the streets. You know how this works.
Yeah, you're right. But if you don't want to hurt anyone, why are you here? We just want to have a word with Marta. A private word between old friends. Do you understand? Yeah, that's cool, I guess. Maybe I can get them out of here. The initiate by the door is staring at Glory's limbs. Her eyes wide, her mousy... She's a mousy little thing, probably somewhere in the vicinity of 17 years old, with purple contact lenses and a shock of blue hair. You used to live here, didn't you? I've seen your picture before. Really? I think so. I didn't look at it long, but it was in a room that I wasn't supposed to be in, but I'm pretty sure that it was you. It probably was. You're right. I did live here a long time ago. I was like you back then, a scared kid brought here by Marta for a chance at a new life. I like Marta. She's so nice. I always feel safe when I'm with her. Most adults aren't like that. They either don't notice you or they do for the wrong reasons, but Marta, she cares about us. Can I ask you a question? Screwing up her courage.
Ask away.
Well, I overheard Marta talking with Mr. Harrow yesterday. I think they were talking about our meeting with him. The one that Marta was just telling us about, where we learn to see the world in a different way.
Go on.
Well, I couldn't really hear the whole conversation. It was all muffled. But what I could hear was kind of weird. Mr. Harrow said stuff about a shrine, and then it sounded like he changed the subject, because he started talking about dinner. Something about chopping up meat? Well, Marta got really upset, said they're too new, they're not ready, make the older ones do it, stuff like that. But then Mr. Harrow said some other things, and then she calmed down again, and when she left, she was smiling. And so, I was just wondering, do you know what they were talking about? I want to make sure that Marta's okay, but I can't ask her about it, because I don't want her to find out that I was eavesdropping.
Glory, what do you think?
Could be any number of things. I wouldn't worry about it, sweetie. We'll make sure that Marta's okay. Alright, but don't tell her I told you, please. Don't worry, we won't. I don't know for certain what Harrow has planned for those kids, but I do know one thing. Whatever it is, we aren't going to let it happen.
Sounds good.
Oh boy. Marta's just on the other side of this door. However this goes, we're going to have to move quickly afterward. If she dies, Harrow will know it, and I don't trust her to keep her mouth shut if she lives. So we take the key to the shrine room, break through the ward, confront the spirit. Are we clear on that?
Crystal, let's do it. Yo, what's up?
The woman in this room is lovely. Full lips contrast artfully with her fine elvish features, and a tumble of fire-red hair spills down over her shoulders. Beyond her physical beauty, there's something inherently approachable about her. She exudes an almost palpable aura of kindness and warmth. Marta, Gloria's old lover, the lure that Harrow used to draw her and so many others to fear Stell. She looks up with a start at the sound of your approach. Her eyes go wide at the sight of Glory. As she takes in her cyberware, her mouth falls open in horror. Glory? Yes, Marta, it's me. It's been a long time. It has. Marta swallows, and the horrified look hasn't left her face. Glory, what have you done to yourself? What I had to do. I got out, Marta. This was the only way. Oh, Glory, I'm so sorry. All at once, the horror on Marta's face is replaced with an expression of profound sorrow. Marta steps forward, her arms extended to wrap Glory in a hug. All at once, something in Glory's face changes. Her skin goes from pale to pallid, and her breath becomes ragged. She takes a step back and raises her claws in a defensive posture. Don't you touch me. You're one of Harrow's creatures. You always were. One of his creatures? Glory, what are you talking about?
You aren't fooling anyone. Glory's told me all about you, how you tricked her into coming here.
I didn't trick anyone. Harrow and I rescued her from a life on the street. A beautiful girl, homeless, penniless, living in a gutter. I pulled her away from all of that. I saved her. You saved me? Saved me? If you'd left me where you found me, I never would have hurt anybody. My mother would still be alive. I never would have sold my soul to that abomination that you all worship, and I wouldn't have had to sacrifice my own body to escape from it. This place took everything from me, and it all started with you. Please, Coy, please calm down. We'll talk through this. I still love you. Another lie, and it's the last you'll ever tell.
Go to it, Glory. Don't let me stand in your way.
You couldn't if you tried. Alright, Glory, I didn't want this, but you win. Let me show you what our husband has taught me since you disappeared. Woo! Okay. There's probably a situation where she can inspire the kids to come fight us. And I don't want that to happen. In any event, get her. Yeah! No AP for you. Activate that adrenal pump. Chugga chugga chugga. Oh, I wish I could get on the other side. It's probably for the best. Just chop that armor off. Oh! No, 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 no. No, 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 no. The return of Inferno Spirit. He's back for revenge. Mother of God. Oh, wow. I wasn't able to see his movement. Just like... Oh, control broken. Escaped. Boom. Explosion. Glory stands staring at the red ruin of Marta's body. Her eyes flit down to her claws and an expression of growing horror creeps across her face. You okay, Glory? No. I'm not.
Should have thought of that before he killed her.
I'm sorry, but it had to be done. Yes, I know. She was just as bad as Harrow. Killing her was the right thing to do. To your astonishment, you see that your eyes are filling with tears. Glory, Jesus. Save the consolation speech. I'm over it. Her voice is frigid, dead. We got what we came for here. Let's go. Okay. That's fine. Next time, let's play Shadowrun Dragonfall. It's time for some more emotional trauma and probably spiritual hoobity-joobity. Good night, everyone.